So, what a strange year it's been so far for the gaming industry. Microsoft making sort of changes all along the watchtower. You also have a situation where Sony is not exactly healthy with what they're doing either. So, it's one of those weird, odd situations where we're sitting there looking at it and going, well, what's the right move to make? And honestly, as just an observer, I have no idea, right? So, Microsoft putting games on PlayStation and Nintendo, is that the right move? I personally don't think so, especially when, the other ones aren't going to do it. Nintendo might be in the best shape because obviously they have such a strong platform, and I don't think their games budgets are ballooning to, these astronomical numbers the way that, the rest of the world is. And I think that's helping them out sort of in a tremendous way right now. Whereas, Microsoft and Sony are battling it out for these games that have a budget into, into the $300 million range. I don't know how sustainable that is or how sustainable that was ever going to be. The other thing that I kind of thought was interesting is like Microsoft looks a little bit better now, I guess, in kind of comparison, because they've come such a long way as far as I'm concerned with what they're doing. But when you look at what happened with Sony, I feel like not enough people are talking about it. And it does maybe show that there's a little bit of bias in the media with some of this stuff. So if you guys missed out on exactly what is going on, I am going to kind of jump into that real quick and how that affects Microsoft as a whole. So yeah, this is going to be an interesting video. Stick around, maybe give it a like. PlayStation is cutting around 900 staff worldwide, or 8% of its entire workforce. The layoffs include the full closure of its London studio. So they closed their London studio as well. This is not good news. I'm not celebrating this. This sucks, just like when it was Microsoft. Per capita, though, this is a bigger layoff and restructure than Microsoft had, because Microsoft has far more employees. So losing 900 when you only have, a lot less than what Microsoft has is not a good thing. So it was confirmed by outgoing president Jim Ryan, who set to step down next month, who said the company had made the extremely hard decision to reduce its overall headcount by about 8%. The layoffs will include the entire closure of PlayStation London studio. These are incredibly talented people who have been part of our success, and we are grateful for their contributions, according to Ryan. However, the industry has changed immensely, and we need the future ready ourselves to set business up for what lies ahead. We need to deliver on expectations from developers and gamers and continue to propel future technology and gaming. So we took a step back to ensure that we are set up to continue bringing the best gaming experience to the community. A separate statement from Sony also confirmed that Insomniac Games, Naughty Dog, Guerrilla Games, and PlayStation technology creative and support teams will also be impacted by a reduction in workforce. Ryan also shared a company-wide email that was sent to staff today explaining the plans in more detail, and it says that the headcount reduction of 900 people, the layoffs impact everyone. U.S. employees affected by the layoffs today, while the UK, it has been proposed that, the London studio will be closed completely. Fire Sprite Studios will see reductions. There will be reductions in various functions across the UK. Again, this is not good news. It really sucks that they're closing. London studio was doing a lot of VR and stuff like that. So that is unfortunate. That this really happened the way that it happened. This wasn't the only bad part. When they talked about how they're reevaluating their operating, confirms canceled games as well. PlayStation Studios boss Herman Hulse said the platform holder is reevaluating how they operate as part of its decision to lay off 900 employees. He confirmed that the layoffs have also resulted in the cancellation of unnamed game projects, which almost certainly includes London Studios' online co-op game set in Fantasy London. He says, our goal at PlayStation Studios has been to make the best games for PlayStation fans, and our global community of PlayStation represents some of the most creative and talented teams within the gaming industry. PlayStation 5 is in its fourth year, and we are at a stage where we need to step back and look at our business needs. At the same time, our industry has experienced continued and fundamental change, which affects how we all create and play games. Delivering the immersive, narrative-driven stories that PlayStation Studios is known for at the quality bar that we aspire to requires a reevaluation of how we operate. Delivering and sustaining social online experiences, allowing PlayStation gamers to explore our worlds in different ways. as well as launching games with additional services such as PC and mobile, require a different approach and different resources. So clearly talking about kind of where things are going. He says growth itself is not an ambition. PlayStation Studios is committed to continually discovering ways to work together, collaborating, and combining our efforts to ensure that we're able to craft games that push the boundaries of play and deliver what you expect from us. We looked at our studios and our portfolio, evaluating projects in various stages of development, and have decided that some of those projects will not move forward. I want to be clear that the decision to stop work on these projects is not a reflection on the talent or passion of team members. Our philosophy has always been to allow creative experimentation. Sometimes great ideas don't become great games. Sometimes a project started with the best intentions before it shifts within the market or industry result in a change of plan. I am deeply saddened to see this, etc., etc. So one of the games we know that was canceled for sure is the Twisted Metal live service game. As part of the company's plan, Sony has canceled the Twisted Metal live service game that was in development at Firesprite. This is according to Bloomberg. VGC, of course, where I'm getting this, and we'll link in the description, reported in 2022 that Twisted Metal game reboot was in active development at Firesprite, moving over from original developer Lucid Games. It's understood that Sony originally intended to bring back the Vehicular Combat series to coincide with the Twisted Metal TV series that launched in 2023. They didn't provide much information on the game, but poor reception to Lucid's PS5 title Destruction All-Stars could have contributed to the decision. Commenting on the restructuring, they obviously said they're going to reevaluate how they operate. Now, how is this interesting for Microsoft? Well, you know, a lot of stuff that Microsoft gets hate for, a lot of things that people like really doubt and kind of double down on the hatred of Xbox. You know, it's just a tough situation. Look, the video game industry makes more than the gaming, that makes more than the movie industry, the TV industry, the music industry. It really does. So you have to wonder, like, what's this all about? What's the answers? I don't know if there's any real answers. I know, like, the thing not to do is the fanboy, right? Because you see a lot of that going on where you have a lot of PlayStation fans who are upset right now. And, you know, you have Xbox fans trying to rub it in, going, oh, well, this means they're going to put their games on Xbox. And I've stated this a million times. It doesn't mean that, you know, obviously, you know, Xbox isn't a huge install base. Maybe if they had, you know, 70 million install base or 60 million, whatever, like PlayStation, then maybe it would make sense. But, you know, when you've got 21, 23 million install base and a lot of those people aren't buying games, I'm not sure that it makes sense. And how do you really fix that? I mean, you know, smaller games possibly like the Hellblade 2, Miles Morales, the upcoming Venom game next year, these smaller experiences, you know, 8 to 10 hours for $50 that kind of, you know, pump out there in the interim. I think that's probably going to be one of the best ideas to kind of do that. But, you know, again, I think we're just seeing things change, and we're just going to have to sit back and enjoy the ride. If you enjoy video games, then continue to enjoy video games, by all means, because we're not sure where this is going to end or what's going to happen. So my best guess is just play the games you love, and let's just hope that things kind of come out for the best. I'm Crap Gamer. This is Crap Gamer Reviews. Rack 'em up.